I'm Alexandra and welcome back to my channel. Today is finally my December wrap-up, so I'm gonna talk about all the books I have read. And you see this big pile of books. This is everything I've read in December. 15 books, which is quite a lot, even for me. It's mostly because I did my book advent calendar, so 12 books and 12 days. So 15 books, and we'll talk about all of them to just tell you what I enjoyed and what I hated, because there's at least one book that I didn't finish in this pile, so we'll see what it is about. So we'll start with this one. So Christmas Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. This is a young adult book focused on the Shopaholic. So it's the last book in the Shopaholic series. So Becky is a mom now. She likes to shop a lot, and my main problem into that series is that I feel like there was no character development. I felt like she was exactly the same as when the series started. I get that it's a young adult book, but at the same time there was something missing. But at the end she gets better, so I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. I still haven't finished reading the series because I don't read them in order, but I think this book is a good way to wrap up the series. The ending is just very cute and makes it worth it, so I enjoyed this one. Then we'll go with another Christmas book. So I read A Christmas Morning by Rachel Greenlaw. I actually enjoyed this a lot. So basically you're following this woman who is having some trouble figuring out how to put everything together. She has a business, she's gonna open a store, she's married, she had a miscarriage, and she's trying to see if she still wants a family, if she still wants to get married, if she can fix things with her friends. And I really enjoyed this. I picked this without knowing anything, and I think it's worth 5 stars. So I think this has to be, if I'm looking quickly, one of like top 3 books I've read in December. Really good, really good. I'll put it here, you can see it, but I'll come back to it. Then I read a thriller. It's Shockwave by John Sanford. Is it Bombs? I think there was Bombs. Okay, yeah. So this one follows these people who are trying to figure out who's putting bombs all over the city. I think it's forgettable. There's nothing that great. I mean, I didn't really buy this book, if you could say. I bought like many books for very cheap, and this was part of it, and it wasn't that good. I mean, it wasn't bad. I finished it. It was a quick read, but like in 10 years I won't remember what this is about. The writing is okay, it's just I think there's better thrillers. Then fantasy. I've read A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. This is book 2 in a series. I've read the first book, which is An Ember and the Ashes. Really liked it, loved it even, and I found this used and I was like, let's buy it, let's read it. I ended up listening to the audiobook of this book because it was part of the book advent calendar, so I had a lot of reading to do. And the thing is, I felt like it was very slow. They're going through a forest trying to reach a prison that's in the middle of nowhere, far from the city, all of that, and I don't know, it was too slow. I think there's another book, I believe. I'm gonna read the third book. Like, it's not that bad, but I think the first book was better for sure. Still was good. I like the writing, I like the characters, the plot, everything. Like the world building is kind of good. It's just, yeah, that was too slow for me. That's why I listened to the audiobook, because I don't think I would have finished like reading the actual book if I went through the physical book instead of the audiobook. But overall, I mean, still a good read. I'm glad I finished it because I don't finish series, so getting better at this. Then we'll move right here. So I read a historical romance. This is Once Upon a Tower, and you're following these 2 people. So there's one Scottish guy, Gowen. He doesn't, it's like he wants to get married, but at the same time it's just because he has a young sister who lost both of her parents and all of that, so he's trying to find her wife that could be kind of like a mother to his sister. And then he went to a ball, met this young woman who was making her debut in society, and he's like, I'm gonna marry her. And he has a title, he has money, so you know, he manages to secure an engagement. And this young woman doesn't remember him because she was sick during her debut. She had a fever, so she wasn't that like mentally there. But still, I think the marriage happens quickly, but at the same time they go well together. I think it was very cute. I enjoyed this, and as usual, I enjoy historical romance, so that was a good book. I've also read another historical romance, this time Worth Any Price. This was part of the Bow Street Runners, and I've read other books in that series and love them, so this was, I mean, there are people that I remember from the other books, but in this you're following Nick and Charlotte. But Nick is this guy who's, I mean, people don't know who he really is. Basically lost his parents when he was young, and his sister got married to another runner and all of that. But the story was cute. I think I preferred the other one I've read, but you know, still cute. I think maybe I prefer the other writer, I don't know, but it still was it was a good book. I enjoyed reading it, and these are fast read too. I think historical romance read pretty fast, so it was good. Then I read a quick short French book called Antéchrista by Amélie Nothomb. I think I finished it in like 1 or 2 go. It's super short, it's like 150 pages, but you know, small pages, and I read faster in French than I do in English. You're following this teenager who meets another girl in her class, and a bunch of things happen, and you know, it's just 2 girls figuring out life, and you find out people that are lying and all of that. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best book I've read in December, but at least I finished it. Then we'll go with another fantasy. As you can see, I've read 2 fantasy books. I read From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and as you can see, I put a lot of post-it because at the beginning I did not enjoy it because like it was weirdly written. I don't know. I'm trying to find a quick. Okay. Let's see. Okay. The planes and angles of his face made me yearn for some talent with a brush or a pen. Who describes someone like this? Like, I'm not gonna say it's planes and angles. It's just weird. As I was reading it, it was better. But like, spicy happened way too fast, and it was strange. But like, at the end of the book, I enjoy it way more than at the beginning. So I think I'm gonna read the second book, but at the same time, it's not the best. It's not the best, and I think it's for young adult. Not sure. I might be wrong, but you know, at the back it says captivating and action-packed. From Blood and Ash is a sexy, addictive, and unexpected fantasy perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas. And Sarah J. Maas writes for young adults, so I'm guessing it's a young adult. It wasn't that bad, but at the same time, not that great. Oh, this one fell, but you know, it's okay. I've read a romance, Dreamland by Nicholas Sparks. I've had this for a long time on my shelf. I enjoyed it. It's just at the beginning it was kind of confusing because there were 2 stories happening at the same time, and I was like, why? But at the end it makes sense. But at the beginning it was hard to get into the story. But overall I really enjoyed this. You're following the life of Colby. Colby is a guy who lost his parents pretty quick in his life. He moves to his aunt and uncle, and then he works on a farm. And it also The other story talks about someone, but I can't mention it without spoiling, so I'm not gonna say it. But Colby goes on to like a vacation to play music for the first time of his life. He likes to play music, but it's just form is too important to him. But yeah, it was still a pretty good book. Usually Nicholas Sparks makes me cry, but not this time, so you know, but still pretty good. Then I read a thriller, How the Light Gets In by Louise Penny. This is part of Inspector Armand Gamache series. It was good, but not that great. I mean, I think I'm gonna forget what this was about. Yeah, it was weird and not the best in that series, but yeah, nothing else to mention really. Then another thriller that I'm gonna forget is Missing Person by Stephen White. I went into this book really scared because the other book I've read by this writer was straight up bad, racist, sexist, but this one wasn't that bad. I did finish it and I'm gonna give this writer another chance. But yeah, you're following this psychologist, Alan. Someone dies and he's trying to figure out what happened, and a bunch of weird things are connected, but that doesn't make sense in real life, so wasn't that great. Then another thriller, last one, is La Dernière Nuit à Tremor Beach. I'm so tired, okay? Like being sick, I'm sick still. It's messing up with my brain. So La Dernière Nuit à Tremor Beach would be translated to The Last Night in Tremor Beach by Miquel Santiago. This was translated to Spanish from Spanish to French. You're following this guy who went through a divorce and moved to this place alone in another country. I think he's from that country, so you know, yeah. And it scared me at point. Like, he moves into a house and he starts having weird dreams. And it just keeps on going. And yeah, it was a good book. Okay, it was good. I think it's the best thriller I've read in December. Yeah, very strange. But at the end, everything made sense. And, you know, it wasn't crazy. But during the book, I got scared. Anyway, pretty good. Then I've read Romance, Icebreaker by Anna Grace, and I went into this expecting, you know, a romance with spicy scenes and all of that, but the spicy scenes happen so quickly in the book. I like a slow paced, like slow burn, more than quick burn. But yeah, it wasn't that bad, but I don't think I'm gonna keep reading Hannah Grace. I think it was good, but there are many romances that are better, in my opinion, than this, so. But yeah, still pretty good. Then we'll talk quickly about the book I DNF'd. So I was reading Christmas by Candlelight by Karen Swan, and yeah, I'm just like, I think I've read 100 pages. It was just bad, straight up bad writing, bad story, bad character. So this woman hasn't seen her friends for years, and she goes to a Christmas party. Honestly, who does that? Like, I'm not gonna go spend Christmas with friends I haven't seen in years. And they get snowed in. They can't leave, and that's where I stopped. It was pretty bad. And the last book I've read, I absolutely loved it. So it's Shelter Mountain by Robin Carr. I've watched the whole series. This is book 2. And in this you're following Paige, who is a domestic violence victim, and a preacher who is the friend of Jack. If you have seen the TV show, you see Paige and Preacher, but this is a bit different. So in this, Paige escapes her violent husband with a very young kid, so he's like 2 or 3 years old, and they manage to like put him in prison and all of that, and Paige and Preacher get married at the end of this book, and I thought it was very cute, very different from the TV show, but at the same time I think it's great that they've done that. But yeah, this was good. So I've had quite a good month, honestly. Like, it's a good way to finish the year because I haven't had the best reading year, But December was very good, and I'm excited to see what happens with my reading this year in 2025. But yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!